Okay, so we have the last two sections, and regardless of the timing, I'm just going to do this all in one video. All right, so absolute value graphs. Now, absolute value, keyword is value with a V. So they're either going to look like that or they're going to look like that. And you guys did an exploration with this, okay? So let's see. Y is equal to A, absolute value of X minus H, and then plus K. This tells you whether you're going up or down from 0, 0. This tells you whether you're going left or right from 0, 0. If you see a plus sign, you're going to the left. If you see a minus sign, you're going to the right. If you see a plus sign here, you're going up, and a minus sign, you're going down. So it's the opposite of what you see there. For a negative A, your graph is going to flip down like that. The bigger A is, as A increases, it gets skinnier. Okay, and as A gets smaller, it gets wider. All right, so just a little review of all that. Okay, so let's talk about this. There's a 1 here. This is my H, and this is my K. Now, H is really, it's really X minus negative 3. That's really what this is. So you need to be real careful when you see X plus. Okay, it's really a minus 3. And this is your H. So your vertex is negative 3 and then negative 5. You just bring your K down. So your vertex, every vertex is H comma K. All right? So you got to be real careful with these. The domain is going to be negative infinity is less than X, which is less than positive infinity. Now, we're not going to do the range yet because we need to go and look and see what's going on here. I have a slope of 1. This is my vertex. So I'm going to go over to negative 3 and down to negative 5. And put a dot there. And then I'm going to go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Okay, and I'm going to go that way in this direction. Okay. And then we're going to go like this. Okay, so there it is. Now your parent function, right? Your parent function, that is y is equal to the absolute value of x, just so you know. And that is going to go from 0, 0 up to your corner. So this one and this one. Now, I would say make your parent function on this graph and then just look at it for all of these. So this vertex is 0, 0. And our graph moved 3 to the left and 5 down. So it moved 3 left and 5 down. Okay? And it still has the same, you know, this is a 1 and this is a 1. So it didn't get any wider, it didn't get any skinnier. Okay, but that's all it did. Now, as far as your range is concerned, it can't go any lower than that negative 5, and it's going to be going up forever toward positive infinity. So my range is negative 5 is less than y, which is less than infinity. So this K, this right here is your K, by the way. That rhymes, doesn't it? Okay, I know, silly. But that's what's happening. All right, let's do it again. This is A. Negative means it's going to flip down like this. A got bigger, so it's going to get skinnier. This is H, just the 4, okay? So remember, X minus H. and then this is K. All right, so my vertex is a +4 and a +1. All right, just this is the H. Not like up here where we're subtracting a negative. Here we're subtracting H, so that is your vertex. Your domain is still negative to positive infinity. And now we're going to go figure out our range. Can you predict what the range will be? All right. So this right here, first of all, I'm going to go over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 1. Okay. And then, see that? All right. First of all, it's going down. I'm going to turn my graph around. I know that's weird. But up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So I have my paper upside down. And this is going to help me make sure I get everything in place. I'm going to put it right side up again. The reason why it's opening down like this is because the A is negative. And that negative flips it over. It's like a reflection. Okay, so now we can look at our range. It doesn't go any higher than the 1. So remember this 1 up here? So 1 is the biggest. And it can be the 1. Oh, that needed an equal to part. It can be the 1, but it's going to go down toward negative infinity. Okay? So your K is related to your range. So how did it change? Well, first of all, negative A, so it was a reflection, and it opens down. Okay. Then the A was a 2, so it got skinnier. In other words, we stretched it. Okay, it's like we took it and just stretched it like this, and it made it skinnier. Okay, and then, so we talked about this, we talked about this. Okay, now we're going to talk about this. So 4, so then it moved 4 to the right and up 1. Okay, that's what happened to it. All right. That's the end of the absolute value. Okay, and now we're going to talk about inverse. So this is, the inverse is our f, and it looks like that, all right? The inverse of f of x. Okay, so the inverse function. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to, this is our original, and we are going to have to graph that. So what we're going to do first is we're going to rewrite it, y equals 5x plus 10. We're going to change x and y, like we're going to switch them. Okay, so they trade places, and then we're going to get y by itself. Right? So I'm going to subtract 10, and I'm going to subtract 10. So I have x minus 10 equals 5y. Now I have to divide by 5 here. I have to divide by 5 here. This is a 1, and I have to divide by 5 there. All right, so this is 1 over 5x. This is a negative 2, and it equals y. And now I'm going to replace that up here. So 1 over 5x minus 2. And remember what we talked about, the slopes should be reciprocals. Okay? One should be flipped over from the other one. All right, let's go graph this. So it's at positive 10. Now we can't go up 5 and over 1, but we can go backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down and backwards 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backwards 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backwards 1. Okay, so we can do that. So this is our original. Okay. And then we're going to graph this one. it's at -2, which is right here. And then we're going to go up 1 and over 5, up 1 and over 5. And we can go backwards. Okay. And no, I'm going to graph that. So there's that one. Okay. Now, if I were to draw a line, if I were to draw y equals x, if I were to draw this line, slope of 1, and it goes through the origin, this is like the mirror. So this point right here is reflected over here. This one is reflected there. This one is reflected here, and so on. So this is like a mirror. This is our original. So we want to name this f of x, and we want to name this one, okay, the inverse. All right. Now we're going to do the last one. Are you ready? Last one. So we're going to rewrite this. Y equals -2 over 3x plus 1. Now I'm going to trade places. -2 over 3y plus 1. And now I'm going to solve it for y. So this is x minus 1 equals, I have -2 over 3y. Now I want to get rid of this fraction. So I'm going to multiply by a -3 over a 2. I'm multiplying. Okay. So this is a 6 and this is a 6. 6 divided by 6 over 6 is a 1. You can also think of it as these reduce. And if I multiply this side by -3 over 2, I have to multiply all of this by -3 over 2. So I'm going to get a -3 over 2x because I'm going to multiply this one. And then I'm going to get a positive 3 over 2 because I'm going to multiply that. Okay, so positive 3 over 2. And then that equals y. And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to write that down. I have a -3 over 2x and then plus 3 over 2. Now look right here. Do you see how these are reciprocals? Right? Those are reciprocals. So let's go ahead and graph our first one. It's at +1. And then I'm going to go down 2 and over 3, down 2 and over 3, down 2 and over 3. I'm going to draw this line. This is my original line. So this is f of x. Okay. This one is my inverse. We're going to be at, this is 1.5, right? So I'm going to go up to 1.5 and put a little dot there. Now I have to go down 3 and over 2. So I'd go 1, 2, 3, and then over 2. 1, 2, 3, and over 2. 1, 2, 3, and over 2. Okay? Got to be kind of careful with those. And then I'm going to have that. So this one is our inverse. Okay. All right. And then we still can draw our little thing here. Okay. All right. There we go. And actually, I think because it's negative, I should have drawn it this way. Let's draw it this way. All right, so we've got our little reflection. This one's kind of a weird one. So it doesn't look very good right now, but this is the reflection. Okay, this is it. Make sure you come ready tomorrow and you can bring a note card. So hopefully you watched it all the way to the end and got this message. And I also put it out on Remind. So hopefully everybody checked their messages.